Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and I got a new phone. I ordered it, and it came in fairly quickly, and this is the first video I am doing on said new phone. I'm very curious about feedback, how it looks, how it sounds. I got exactly twice the phone I used to have and paid exactly the same price, so couldn't beat that deal. Anyway, so the reason I came on today is because I am frankly getting really tired of all the fake and deflated and inflated numbers that I'm getting on this Wuhan pneumonia, is what they're calling it now. It's still a nasty little thing, but I've been watching videos from people in China giving real numbers, and then I went ahead and I watched a China state TV, and numbers were totally off, and they interviewed probably the only healthy guy in the hospital, and he says, oh, everybody's healing up fine, we're doing great, this thing is, it's about to expire, we're all done with it, so nobody panic, it's all good. Well, another video I watched of a nurse that's inside a hospital, and she said that just around her, and that means just one place, apparently in Wuhan, there are 90,000 confirmed cases. And she said that literally people are dying in the hallways, and so it's really not good. And another gentleman I listened to from China says that basically they're not allowed to do anything. If you get sick, you're not allowed to go to the hospital, and they're basically locked down in the house. And if you get out on the streets, you get confronted by police, and you get swished back into your little dwelling, which I hope to God they have all their provisions they need for long-term stay. But it's not good over there. I listened to Lisa Haven, and she came up with the numbers that they're divulging to the American people, and if you add all of the numbers they've come up with, like 2,700 cases, 81 deaths, and 51 that have healed from it, and all this other, you look at all those numbers, it comes out to about 8,000 worldwide. But yet, listening to them from the ground in China, they are in absolute chaos, panic, and they're frankly disgusted with their government. And I would be too, because their government allows this crap. They could have shut this thing down at the very beginning, but they wanted it to get a foothold, because that's what you do with bioweapons. You want to get it a foothold, and then you want to act like you're going to give a shit and try to take care of people. Oh, we're sorry, we're going to get you some medical help. Then you try to get your medical help, and you get turned away. Basically, they're getting to the hospitals over there, they're giving them a bottle of anti-inflammatories, so it'd be basically Motrin, ibuprofen, and then they're saying, okay, be on your way, go on, bye-bye. So that's if you can even get to a hospital. And anyway, so the CDC doesn't give a damn about the population. That's been proven. They don't care about the people because they're another government entity, another government puppet, and their rulers are the same bankers that rule everything else. So economy first, absolutely first. You be damned, economy is important. So they are trying to keep a lid on this thing, keep their illusion of grandeur in check. But the reality is it's collapsing around them, and they can't keep their mouths shut for long. So anyway, what they were saying in the CDC is that they didn't want to announce a national emergency or international emergency unless there were cases where there was person-to-person transmission outside of China. Well, ding ding, they got it. Apparently in Canada, the husband that traveled apparently from Wuhan, wife did not. She was at home. He gets home, and both of them are infected. I believe that's called person-to-person. It doesn't matter if it was done through intercourse or whatever. Maybe they gave each other a big sloppy wet kiss when he got home from Wuhan. Who knows? The point is, that was person-to-person. So, at this point, we need the CDC to get off of their bought asses and start looking out after the people. I've talked to a couple of people in town, managers that own restaurants. I said, have you had a health and wellness briefing yet for your restaurant based on the information about this Wuhan pneumonia? Her answer, one of them was, what are you talking about? And I said, well, here's the deal. You need to be looking into it, because if it spreads here like it did in China, we're going to be in some kind of unusual situation here. So at this point, you got to have provisions, you got to have your safety gear, you got to have your food, water, you got to be ready, and you got to keep your eye on this thing. And I've done 3 videos now, I think, on it, so I'm trying to take it seriously, but I'm trying to inform you folks, I'm not trying to inject the panic button, but I wish that the governments of the world would stop lying to the people and just for once give a shit about humanity, and they don't. So I am trying with my tiny little voice to get the word out to some people that haven't heard about it. And it's a shame how suppressed the information is and how much they just truly do not care about you. I do. I think humanity has a right to live unobstructed, and governments don't. So I just want you guys to be aware of it. I want you to prepare now, not panic, but just watch this thing. And for the love of God, get off the mainstream media, because all they're doing is fabricating crap, lying to you, lulling you to sleep, making you assume that everything is unicorns and rainbows except for President Trump, then it's all bad. So you got to get off of there. You got to start looking into it. Look around the YouTube. You can find some videos that have been squelched everywhere else if you look deep enough. So if you know a little bit about computers, which I don't, I stumble around on that thing until I find something that accidentally worked right, and then I go forward. That's how I've been able to find stuff. So whether you're computer savvy or not, you can find the information you need and listen to it. Heed the warnings, pay attention to the numbers, watch the states that already have exposure. They're not talking about Texas anymore, but they did say one that popped up in Arizona. So now we've got LA, apparently 3 cases in LA. We got Chicago, they're keeping mouth shut about that. Or not Chicago, we got Illinois. I don't know exactly where it is, but Illinois and Arizona, Washington State. And in Washington State, Marfugel TV, old Marf up there, tried to do a on location type of filming, ran into an emergency room doctor, didn't even know they had a patient in a hospital. I find that very difficult to believe. I believe that's part of the shut down the public interest. Keep a lid on this thing, and for an ER doc to not know that a virulent infectious disease has entered his hospital, it's crap. So he was trying to defuse Marfugel and say, oh, no, everything's fine. So pay attention to that too. But anyway, so the Spanish flu took out 55 million people in 1918, or at least around that number. I don't know how long it took to take out that many people, but it was quick. This thing they're saying, oh, it's going to be about the same as the Spanish flu. Only 65 million people will die. So that's just insane. So anyway, they're also saying the infectious rate is about 80%. And then they're giving the numbers of 2.8 or 2.4 and 3.8 people will be infected by one individual. So the numbers, again, are just stupid. They're just throwing things out there to try to keep people calm, keep people from running on their grocery stores and stuff like that, which I agree with. Don't do that, but just casually start preparing. My wife and I have decided, I told you we were going to be doing our own self-quarantine, so to speak, because she has very bad lungs and she can't afford to get this thing. So we've decided when we're going to go to the grocery store, it's going to be late night. We're going to do the things that we need to do and make sure that we can get through this thing, even if it takes off in this country. We'll be basically in a routine that we'll be used to and ready for, so it won't matter to us. We will disinfect as we get home, and viruses are very difficult to get rid of with disinfectants, so you need to use a lot of soap and water. You need to keep yourself cleaned up. And other than that, just pay attention. Pay attention to the alternative media, because they're not going to try to bullshit you. They're going to give you the news, whether it be me or somebody else. It just doesn't matter. But watch whoever you need to watch to feel comfortable with the information you're getting, and do your own research. That's very important. Understand it yourself, so that you're not just hearing somebody babble on here. Anyway, if you guys like what I have to say, make sure you tell your friends about me. Tell them to subscribe to my channel. YouTube has me so squashed down. I've been getting new subscribers every day for the last probably 2 months, and my number hasn't moved at all. My view hours have stopped at 2,700. They haven't moved in 3 months. So they're squashing the crap out of me. So at this point, if you know somebody wants to hear what I have to say, make sure you tell them about me. Tell them to subscribe, hit the little bell. I'll give them the information when I get it. And the rest of you, God bless you. Appreciate you all being here. And until next time, y'all, stay in the fight.